There's a new threat coming to Appalachia. Along the Ohio River Valley, including parts of Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky, there are plans underway to create a new petrochemical hub for the creation of plastics from fracked natural gas derived from the local underground shale formations. This is called the Appalachian Storage Hub because the gases used would be stored in the region. The goal here is to begin the development of a plastics powerhouse akin to what currently exists along the Gulf Coast in Louisiana, a place known as Cancer Alley. Along the Mississippi River, between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, for 85 miles, there are over 150 chemical plants and refineries. This is the original petrochemical corridor, as the industry calls it. Here, chemical plants can be as close as 500 feet from homes, and the people there live with the health effects of these chemical facilities every day. The things that citizens have reported include noxious smells, burning eyes, and scratchy throats, unexplained rashes, sores that don't heal, but the biggest issue for the community has been the abnormally high rate of cancers of all kinds that has developed in the towns along the petrochemical corridor. In one of the towns, the cancer risk is 700 times the national average. Chloroprene, ethylene oxide, and benzene are three of the problem chemical emissions in Cancer Alley. Unsurprisingly, they all cause cancer. In addition to this, they all cause headaches, nausea, skin irritation and blisters, fever, and immune system irregularities. Benzene can cause anemia and other blood disorders. Chloroprene is extremely toxic to the environment, and it's highly flammable, dangerous to the liver, blood, and immune system. Ethylene oxide can cause nervous system damage. Plus, it's so explosive that it's the main component in thermobaric bombs. These are just the biggest in an array of possible emissions. The amount of the various toxins in the air around these plants have sometimes been measured at hundreds of times the appropriate amount. Additionally, there's a long history of chemical spills, fires, and other accidents around plants of this kind in Louisiana. In 1948, the town of Donora, Pennsylvania, was hit by a smog that settled in the valley and killed 20 people, sickening around 6,000. This was due to a temperature inversion causing air pollutants from nearby factories to mix with fog and be trapped in the valley. Temperature inversions are more common here than at the Gulf Coast, and the lack of ocean winds, plus the hills acting as a bowl, increase the risk of pollutants hovering around the area. Poverty levels in Cancer Alley are high, despite the high concentration of refineries and plants right there. The poverty rate ranges from 10% to 50% or higher in many areas along the river. While it's unclear what the economic prospects for the Appalachian Storage Hub would be, the promises of unprecedented economic growth and new jobs from proponents of the hub are somewhat undercut by the numbers from Louisiana. Parkersburg, a city that has already had a rough history with chemical companies, is the site where Braskem wants to build its ethane cracker. The planned site is right next to a chemical facility owned by Chemours, a company with links to DuPont. They used to make Teflon there and released a highly toxic chemical, C8. C8 is now in the blood of 98% of Americans and can cause cancers and serious birth defects. DuPont knew about the danger of the chemical and that it was in local drinking water as well as air pollution since the 1960s. The scandal eventually led to a class action suit that was won in 2016. These issues, cancers, birth defects, sudden illnesses, are all things that could come back if the Teflon plant was replaced with an ethane cracker. Also, 2 methanol crackers are being built to crack the methane from natural gas, which is highly explosive, and the facility is in a bad spot. The company that wants to build the 2 methanol crackers is called U.S. Methanol, and it's a pop-up company without any track record to judge it by. They're building these plants on an old industrial site less than a mile from the campus of West Virginia State University. This is a community that has already suffered from pollution and deadly explosions from past chemical plants on these sites and nearby. This new, highly explosive, polluting chemical plant is being built from an existing one in Brazil, which has been disassembled and shipped to West Virginia. It has been under construction since September of 2017, and after a full-year delay due to a crack in an essential boiler, it could be operational by the end of this year. The second plant would then come soon after, if allowed to continue, as it currently would be. Our region has already suffered enough mistreatment from these same chemical companies, like DuPont, to expect to be treated any better than Louisiana. These companies are not good neighbors. All in all, people within the oil industry and government conspire to dump a nasty petrochemical hub on a part of the country that has already suffered from over a century of pollution by industries extracting first coal and then also shale gas.